Good. How are y'all?
Yeah.
Good.
You gotta get back.
You always talk about taking Plan A away, so that would be Reese. So last time. So
Yeah.
how do you go ahead and handle that?
You say a prayer, and no, she's playing extremely well. She's the leader of their team in so many ways. We've got to make it tough for her to catch the basketball, but it's not her first shot. It's her second and her third and her fourth after that. The way that she relentlessly rebounds is probably the most impressive thing I've seen in a really, really long time. And so she's quick off her feet. She's got great anticipation. And the biggest thing is that she wants to do it. And so when somebody is willing and wants to go get rebounds, it's really hard to consistently box her out. But that's what we've got to do. We've got to have bodies by her all night long and make it difficult for her to get her hands on those second attempts.
And coming off a game where you didn't do good, keeping a girl off the boards, 17, is that help you to point out that, hey, we need to get better at this?
We're about to go talk about LSU right now. We'll spend a ton of time watching film on our first game against them. We've got something to look at there. And then obviously we spent some time talking about last night's game as well. We've just got to be better in that regard. We've got to keep ourselves out of foul trouble and, again, carve out space. I think sometimes we think we're bigger than what we are and we can out-jump people, and that's not that's not been successful for us, and for us to continue to box out and do the things we need to do to give ourselves the best chance to limit people to one shot, boxing out, it's got to be top of our mind.
Just how have you seen your team change or grow since the last time you played LSU?
I think we, again, that was our second or third conference game. So I think since then our confidence has gotten better. I think we have at times been really better about our offense, what it is we're running. We've now gotten more players back. So we're trying to find our identity again with 10 and getting rotations figured out and knocking some rust off as it relates to players who haven't played in a while. But I think what has been the most consistent theme of who we are is just the fight that we have, and their want to get better, their want to fight, and their desire to do what it is that we ask them to do.
Do you think the last two games, I guess specifically Vanderbilt, obviously defensively, and last game Florida offensively, would you attribute some of that with rust for some of the girls coming back, or trying to build that team cohesion and reacclimating to playing with each other?
Yeah, I'll even throw Georgia in that mix. We won the game, so you kind of forget, but we gave up 73 points against Georgia. That's not who we are defensively or who we have been, and so I think it's details. It's our details are not there in some areas on both sides of the ball, and that happens when somebody is sat and watched for a while and hasn't been able to practice and get those reps. And so the details of what we do defensively matter. We're supposed to be in this coverage on a ball screen and we totally blew it, right, which led to a 3-point shot. Or we're supposed to run this type of offense and we've got somebody doing the wrong thing, which totally took away the look we were going for. So it's the details of it, and in some cases, it's knocking off the rust of knowing what it is. I mean, we put in a ton of stuff with our 7 that the people that are returning got to watch, but it's a different thing having to remember it and go out there and do it. So again, it's just getting familiar with all that, getting their footing back, and getting into a pattern and playing with people again.
You talk about the fight. Talk about someone who, like Aaliyah, who came here 2 years ago, probably didn't expect the road to go the way it did, but her to come out every game and fight.
Her maturity and growth through this year is something that I'm just extremely proud of. I think that she put a ton of value in scoring the basketball when we first got here. That's what she talked about. That's what she wanted to do. That's what, you could tell every time she got it, she was searching for a shot. And let's be honest, she is offensively talented. She's got a very versatile skill set. She's a 3-level scorer. She can shoot it. She can get to the rim. She can post up. She can drive you. But on the flip side of that, every time she didn't get the ball, or every time she missed a shot, she'd just hang her head and she'd take herself down this rabbit hole. And so the conversation has been like, why are you putting all your value in scoring? Is that all you are? Are you just a scorer? Are you not a rim protector? Are you not a rebounder? Are you not a facilitator? Are you not a vocal leader? Are you not a cheerleader for your teammates? Like, give yourself up and let's figure out who all you are instead of just labeling yourself as a scorer. And that's been a daily thing for her, and to see her grow into accepting that. You look at the Georgia game where she had 11 assists. You look at, then she comes out of Vandy and has 21. No matter what it is that we now ask her to do, she's a willing participant in the plan that we have for her. And that changes from game to game. So I'm just really, really proud of her growth. That's hard for a fifth year senior to do when their identity has been in scoring, or they think their identity has been to be a scorer. And this is my last year to go, do whatever it is that I think I'm supposed to do. And to be willing to do something different is very rare for somebody that's that experienced. And so I can't say enough about just how she has put her body on the line. She's definitely mentally and physically fatigued, but she's shown up every single day and has tried to do what we've asked her to do.
What with LSU coming in? I know you weren't here last year, but it seemed to be a big Waco contingent here to support Coach Mulkey, and
Okay.
obviously just big time opponent. That aspect, breast cancer awareness game seems like there's going to be probably maybe one of your more raucous atmospheres all year. What do you think you can take away from kind of playing in that game with that environment and just from that experience?
Well, the more the merrier. No matter who, if they're coming to see basketball, that's good for us. It's also going to be our senior night. This is our last Sunday home game, so we're going to honor Mackenzie and Aaliyah with the senior night. So I expect Reed Arena to be packed. I think that's a great atmosphere. That's why you play college basketball at this level. That's why you come to Texas A&M, for Reed Arena to be packed. And so if that's the case on Sunday, then that's great.
And do you want senior day on a Sunday? I was gonna ask you about your thoughts. Is that what you normally?
On a Sunday, it's just easier for parents who are traveling to get back and forth if they're driving, if they've got to go to work the next day. A Thursday night's really difficult to do that and do all the, the reception and all the things and activities that we have, and expect them to be at work the next day or if they're driving. So we try to do that on a Sunday. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joni.